Okay, started the recording. Okay, so
I'm gonna give my potion to Lyra. You clearly need
hold
it.
on.
Huh?
Um, Elven battle hymn. Elven battle music. Elven archers. Gotta get background. Don't be silly.
Oh, I just cracked my thumb.
This sucks dick. Battle of the Night Elves. Epic elf music.
Pick a song from The Witcher. Okay, this sucks ass. Witcher song.
Toss your Witcher.
No, not that one.
Witcher 2 OST. Nobody's gonna expect a Witcher 2 song.
Assassins of Kings. That sounds cool. That fits.
That's the intro.
Uh,
Oops.
Look up some random boss music from The Witcher.
Blue Mountains.
That sounds peaceful.
That's a shame.
Battle music. Top one.
Path of the Kingslayer. Good enough. Alright. So, fresh off the defeat of the War Golem, you immediately start rushing over to the Venttorial castle itself. You had just told the Shade how exactly the Dragar had infiltrated, and he wasn't made aware of this. He had no idea that they were entering in through the secret entrance inside the castle. So, all three of you begin sprinting off immediately, leaving behind Faerun to deal with the rest of the stragglers, and if there were any Dragar left behind that you didn't see immediately. There. Okay. Wait, you said you were given a potion?
Yeah, I was giving a potion to Lyra because she's in way worse condition than I am,
Alright.
and she's our tank.
What's your
and
potion?
It was a greater healing potion, I think.
Okay. Take
It
that away.
lesser healing, so yeah, I'm gonna grab it.
Greater healing potion. 4d4 plus 4. Roll 4d4.
Shouldn't she roll it since it's for her?
Fine.
I'll do it anyway. 44.
Oh, yours is better. Alright, so she gets 14 health. Alright. So you pass it to her, and she drinks it. Telling you that she has no more charges left of her paladin healing abilities. Right now, we're pretty much on their own. As far as like special casts and as like that kind of stuff goes, they're kind of out. They're tapped. They're exhausted from fighting that golem, and honestly, so are you. So walking forward, you slowly approach the castle because you hear voices inside talking. Looking in, you see one of the. Looking in, you see the two guards that you remember standing outside, lying dead at the feet of some Doragars in the immediate castle.
Do they see us?
No, they don't.
Alright.
Right now they're digging around, rooting in their pockets, like stealing out whatever they have. These bodies were freshly slain. It must have been mere seconds before you had all arrived.
How about we do a little strategy here, Mr. Shade? Lyra, I need you to act like you're a distressed princess in need of help. And me and the Shade will take sides here and here. And we will jump at the same time at whoever walks up to you.
Lad, you think playing princess is gonna really help here? I'd got to imagine that they've got to be more informed. They know the entrance to this castle. They got to know who Lyra is, and they got to know that she wasn't there from the get-go. If they've gotten to Aelion...
Even our voice... Like, she doesn't even need to be in sight either.
Alright, let's leave it to you. And he begins stepping a couple steps back, as you two get into positioning. Lyra nods along to the plan, following along, where she gets into a clear line of sight with the Dragar captain and screams at the top of her lungs, drawing his attention.
Say you're bleeding out, say you're bleeding out! There's blood on you.
Oh, help! I'm bleeding! Please, will somebody come save me? Guards! Guards! I'm just a helpless and innocent princess! And with that, the Dragar captain comes barreling down with the 2 combatants close in tow. And as he sprints forward...
Oh, I'm hiding. Can I make a stealth check?
Yeah.
Yeah, forgot to do that. That's not right. I'm guessing Shade's also just invisible.
He's invisible as a teleport type
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah.
They don't even know I'm here.
Nope. They clearly don't know you're here. Shade's fine. Actually, he gets advantage on that. Well, it wouldn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they said he was fine with a 9, so... Alright, so they come barreling in, more invested in Lyra than anything else that could be here. Given that she is royalty, they know who she is. They're coming here informed. And so they keep running along, dashing forward. Just before they hit Lyra...
This guy.
Yeah.
Do I get advantage here?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Ooh.
Yeah, it hits.
And that was a weak-ass sneak attack.
Oh, I didn't roll 3. No, let's just do more. Alright. So, and with that, as he comes to, you two launch a pincer motion, and both of them stabbing him in the sides with daggers, hopping forward a couple spaces that really nail him. You, like, pincushion him with your daggers, immediately sticking it into his sides, hitting him between the two of you for a total of, that's 11 on his end, then 9 on your end. That's 20 damage.
Owned. That gotta hurt.
Yeah. Alright. And then with that, I guess initiate combat, because the Dragars can now readily see you. And you both got your alert. So I'm rolling 3 for the Dragar.
Ooh, nice.
Alright. So that's...
Couldn't I technically sneak attack the Dragar captain again?
I honestly don't remember the rules in sneak attack and what we've decided.
Well, I mean, he has to look at one of us.
No, I think we said that he has to know you're there. And he definitely knows you're there. Did Spencer leave?
Oh?
Oh, you're offline.
What?
On Discord, you're offline. Alright, so Gale 16. That is the captain with 17. And then Dragar 1. And Dragar 2. And then this is Lyra and Shade. Alright, Lyra is second to last. And Shade is first. Yeah. Alright. It's turn order. Okay. So with that, the Shade hops backwards, moving in immediately to deal with the 2 combatants. And so he immediately takes out 2 glowing purple daggers. They're almost translucent, or they are translucent even. They look like they're made of pure energy, and flings the 2 daggers straight into the heads of the Dragars standing in front of them. So the first dagger hits for 8 damage, and the second one does miss.
Wouldn't be me personally.
Alright, and then there's you. No, it's
All
Captain
right.
actually.
Oh, captain? Oh, shit.
So, Captain, in retaliation for what you had just stuck into the side of him, and with the Shade having hopped a bit further away, the Captain turns to you and strikes you for...
Sorry, I bumped into you, I'm sorry.
and strikes you for 6 damage.
Oh man.
Taking an axe and just scraping it up the side of your forearm, holding your dagger. And now it's your turn.
Alright. Wolfang dagger. Just go for a simple swing. Ah, damn it.
Nope.
Regular
Bonus
dagger.
Taking one strike at his face, you whiff it, and then moving in for another quick one, you hit. Striking it across his, I don't know, his, I suppose his left pec, for, what, 5 damage is that?
Yeah,
You don't have any modifiers? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Alright, and then it's, Dragar 2. So, Dragar 2 moves into attack at the Shade, having just missed his attack moments prior. Where he misses the Shade entirely. Taking a swing at the Shade's arm after he missed that dagger throw. He does retract it before it makes contact. Lyra moves up. I need to open up my notes. I'm just off memory, trying to remember what all these things are. I don't remember their numbers.
Bro was not prepared, I don't blame you. It was a rough.
Where's Lyra? Lyra. 1d10 plus 4. Okay. Alright, 1d10 plus 4. Okay, so winding back her spear, she pulls it, getting ready to shoot out a pure beam of light. As she's charging her spear, the Dragar reaches out and slaps the spear out of her hand, saying, "We'll be having none of that, laddie," or missy, causing her to drop the spear on the spot. To which Dragar 1 swiftly follows up, running ahead of the Shade and taking a swing at Lyra.
Oh, come on.
Where he hits her for 7 damage. Striking across her breastplate, she managed to escape the worst of the wound, but it still does cut through. And then we loop back to Shade. The Shade, now unsheathing a large broadsword from his back, begins pulling up into a offensive position as he begins.
He's just like me for real.
Pushing it into the side of the Dragar in front of him, and that is 12 damage. 1, 2. Okay. As he presses it into his lower stomach, cutting through parts of the leather armor and causing a visible curtain of blood to begin oozing from the Dragar's stomach.
Make this Spencer.
Okay.
Alright, and now it's Captain. So the Captain returning his attention back to you after his combatant had taken up the fight against Lyra herself. 11 misses you, so he actually doesn't hit you for 10 damage, luckily for you.
I was gonna use Uncanny Dodge.
Yeah.
I forgot I had that, I should start using it more.
And that is your turn.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast. Can I swing with my dagger and Eldritch Blast?
No.
God damn.
Wait, actually, yeah, I guess so. Because there's a bonus action for your alt hand, but it would be your, like, non-enhanced dagger, just a regular dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Eldritch Blast both Dragar Captain and Combatant 1. Hit both, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a good one, give me a good one, give me a good one. Damn, that's so weak.
6. So it's 2 to which one, and then 6 or 4 to which?
2 to Dragar Captain, I guess.
And then 4 to who? 2 or 1?
4 to 1 next to Lyra.
Alright.
I need to make sure me and Lyra are in like tip-top shape.
Okay. So then that takes us to Dragar 2's turn, to which he goes back to...
Oh, did I not get my dagger swing?
Oh, wait, go for it.
Doesn't matter, doesn't hit anyway.
Okay. So, Dragar 2 does manage to get a nick on the Shade, going for a retaliation against his offensive position. As the Shade had shoved that broadsword into his lower stomach, he brought down a short sword straight into his forearm, piercing it. And then it is Lyra. So Lyra, moving to pick up her weapon hastily, makes another feint as pretending to drop to her hands and knees in tears. She grabs the spear and tries to aim it straight upwards. The combatant was a bit wise and had the intelligence to dodge away from what looks like a clear paladin with a big radiant spear. He's not falling for her.
I'm just gonna look at her and be like, "We're done acting." By the way,
I'm trying. It's been a rather stressful day. Can you really fault me?
Maybe. Act like your life depends on it.
Alright, Dragar 1. So after having hopped away from Lyra, he dashes immediately back forward, hitting her for... Well, actually, that's 11. No, it doesn't hit her.
That's miss.
Yeah, that's miss. I mistook his plus to hit. This is only plus 2. And Lyra has, I think, like 14 AC, so... Yeah, so we hop forward and does miss her. The Shade, keeping a close ear on what's happening behind him, vanishes into a plume of smoke. Instead, shooting behind him for... Was sneak attacks 3D or D6s or D8s? I don't remember.
3d6. Well, 4d6. Considering I thought he's like a super level guy.
For him.
Wasn't he doing 46s?
I don't remember. Vanishing in a plume of smoke and appearing behind the Dragar combatant, he moves to plunge his dagger into the back of his neck, but does fall short, as the Dragar is apparently keenly aware of what's going on.
This guy's amazing!
And weaves between both of Lyra's and the Shade's flurries of attacks.
Alright.
And then it's the Captain's turn. So Captain...
Dude, we're gonna get a shit rocked here, it's awful.
Captain, still focusing mainly on you, having no reason to do it otherwise, nails you for, that's 10 damage, because he's a plus 2. He nails you for 10 damage, getting a big gash across your upper right shoulder, almost causing you to drop your weapon, but you do hold tight on it. And that's your turn.
My turn? I'm gonna like, this is how you do it. Can I move here without getting...
Yeah, as long as you're still in attack range.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak attack Dragar combatant.
Alright.
This is how you sneak attack.
He says, rolling a 1, sneak attacking the Shade. Galen shouts out, "This is how you sneak attack," as he moves in to stab.
He just dodges it again.
He barely even has to make a motion to dodge. He sidesteps it slowly, still weaving through all 3 of your attacks. There's one combatant, clearly showing you all up. He begins giggling lightly to himself.
The Battlemaster Dragar.
I'm gonna slice his... nah, I'm not gonna go for him. I'm gonna go for the captain.
Giggling to himself, and the captain turning around to watch the exact same thing happening. You stick a knife just behind you and nailing him straight in like his thigh, just plunging in the dagger.
He's still alive?
Yeah.
Damn.
He's a captain. He's not a...
I'm in a shitty position now too. I'm dead.
Dragar 2's turn. So Dragar 2 is gonna run up forward and get between you all, taking a swing at the Shade,
so screwed. I'm
missing
so
him. And then it's Lyra's turn. Where's Lyra at right now? No, she can't. Lyra, keeping the radiant energy to herself, is unable to make any exceptionally AoE-based plays with how tight the combat has come. Everyone crowding around. So she just takes a regular swing at the combatant who's been expertly dodging and weaving all of the attacks, nailing him for 9 damage. Actually, she is plus 4 on that. So that's actually a 13 damage. She nails him. No, it doesn't. Striking it across his full body. There's it damn near takes off his clothes. It cuts straight from the top right shoulder down to the bottom left hip, peeling open, exposing his chest.
All right.
And then it's Dragar 1's turn, which is Mr. Bob and Weave himself. Mr. Bob and Weave, not too short-sighted to let someone get a hit off him, lands a 19, putting his dagger straight into the shoulder of Lyra, expertly digging it in, ensuring to miss that heavy paladin armor.
Why wasn't this guy the captain? He's better at you than being the captain.
Just listen to Dwagar Continue Force, dude. They're fucking you up.
The Dragar Continue Force, yeah, man.
You're fighting Raccoon, actually.
The Shade trying to get in another stab in the back of the combatant after he just stabbed Lyra in the shoulder, hopping up and like swinging across on his dagger, kind of like teetering back and forth, hanging there because she's like 6 feet tall and he's like 4 feet tall. He's 2 feet off the ground. The Shade takes a swipe at his legs, but he's still hanging. He never let go, so it goes straight under him.
Can I switch to my greatsword and then attack? Or
Bonus action to swap, but yes. Alright, and then it's the captain.
I'm dead. Man.
Captain, seeing the
I'm
wide
dead.
open
That's so right.
Galen, takes a big strike across, hitting you for 4 damage.
Alright. Can I disengage?
Your turn, yes you can, that's a bonus action.
Can I disengage and then Eldritch Blast?
Yes, that's a bonus action,
Alright.
then a main action.
Alright, cool. So, how far can I disengage away from, like,
Your normal movement speed.
30? Alright. Going here,
Yeah,
and I'm going to Eldritch Blast the Dragar Captain full on.
okay. So as Galen ducks under, crawling on the floor, crawling on the floor, like scampering away like a little rat bastard, crawls away a good distance from the fight as the captain turns around to call him a coward, pointing and shouting as you nail him for 36 damage. You clasp your hands together as a giant bolt of energy gets charged between them, and then you plunge them forward, shooting out a big blast. A full beam strikes this guy, covering him with a green hue as he's blasted away against the wall, cracking as he nails against it. The wall breaking under the force of the continuous fire as you push him through that wall and through the next until you just hear a distant, like, crashing sound as if a body was falling off a cliff.
Hunt! I can't yell, but I would have yelled that so loud.
Okay. The two combatants looking to see their captain getting his ass beat turn to each other murmuring. All you can really make out from the two of them is just, that guy sucks, I should be the captain.
I agree.
And then it is Dragar 2's turn. Dragar 2 is going to... what's he going to do? I guess he's just going to attack at Leo. Oh, he's actually at the Shade. So he's going to attack the Shade who was watching that spectacle, getting in a quick hit, scratching against his the left side of his stomach. Just getting a quick, like, nick in. And then it's Lyra's turn. Lyra, finally now open to beginning using her full extent, revs up her spear with a radiant energy and begins to do a large sweeping arc, cutting into Dragar 1 directly in front of her, and then just shyly missing Dragar Combatant 2, is still focusing all his attention onto the Shade. So she hits 8 damage onto Dragar Combatant 1, who's bobbing and weaving, is really not holding out much longer, as he spits out a spurt of blood. And then it's his turn, to which
this guy's not gonna go down without a fight. He's
Yeah.
gonna hit hard. Well, at least
so
he
much for
hit.
not going. Yeah, he hits Lyra for 1 damage as the coughing of blood begins to, like, obfuscate his vision. He's spitting out so much that his eyes are closing as he's doubling over. And the Shade, quick to take advantage of this opportunity, takes out his broadsword, aimed directly at his back, and pummel strikes straight into the back, where he somehow, the Dragar combatant, feigning the blood spurting, drops to his hands and knees, the greatsword going straight into Lyra's chest for 7 damage.
Dude, I gotta tell this guy to lock it. I'm gonna slap him after this fight, dude.
The Draenor combatant 1's really pulling his weight, man. It's your
You're doing
turn.
more damage. Okay. I'm scared to do like attack this guy now.
Yeah, it's probably best to not attack the guy.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast. Combatant 1 and 2.
1 and
Well,
2, okay. Your first roll is going to be for 1, second roll for 2.
Yeah. Actually, I'll roll them together.
Both hit. Actually, second one. Do you have plus to hit? Yeah, you have charisma. So you do.
Yep, should be like +3, so 13.
So pulling out like finger guns, you mime motions of you shooting a blast out, nailing both of them square in the chest.
Spirit gun!
With your finger blast, you do put a hole straight through the Draenor combatant 1's chest. He falls over with a surprised look on his face that he didn't dodge that last attack. He just slumps and falls to the side, dead. Alright. And then
Can
you
I
still
walk
have bonus
up to this
action.
guy?
Yeah, you can.
And just swing at him?
Yeah.
Actually, can I sneak attack?
No.
With my
you just
regular
attack him.
dagger?
He definitely knows you're there now. And you also can't sneak attack as a bonus action.
I see. I'll just swing at him with my regular dagger. There's no way he's not gonna die next.
No plus to
A
hit,
hit.
you miss, no.
I don't have any plus. Damn.
No, with your offhanded bonus action attacks, I don't think you have any bonuses at all.
Scaling.
Yeah, you don't get like finesse, you don't get any of that. At least by the way, rules I play. I think ordinarily you do. You just lose out on proficiency. But I don't play with proficiency, so I just have it all like special traits of weapons. Okay, so after you, it's Dragar 2, so that's the one that's currently alive's turn. So with you now immediately running up, back upon him, he turns around to look at you and takes a
I'm dead.
strike, nailing you straight across the head, just bashing your head in.
Wait, he's not gonna go after. Damn.
And that knocks you out instantly. The second the pommel nails against his head, or against Galen's head.
I'm gonna be like on the ground. I'm gonna say, like, am I knocked out? Can I say anything before I go out?
No, he hits you once in the head and you go out like a light. Lyra, seeing this, with an advantage, rolls a 3 and completely whiffs the attack that she's trying to get out of revenge for him taking
I'm
you
gonna
out.
open my eyes and be like, you suck, and then close them.
Like a breath in the wind, she faintly hears, "Damn, you suck," fly by. And she frowns, a single tear rolling down the side of her cheek as she looks down, like a dark, sullen expression on her face. And then it is, Dragar 1's dead, loop back to Shade. The Shade pulls out both daggers, and crossing his arms in an X, throws out both of them, uncrossing his arms. Both of them plunging in directly into Dragar Combatant 2's back, hitting him for 10 damage.
That's gotta be enough, surely.
Anyway, Dragar Combatant 2, returning fire onto the Shade. He turns around ever so slowly, takes one swing, trips, falls face forward onto his axe, where he begins spurting out blood, prone on the ground, not dead, but unable to move.
Let's spit on him.
With that, the Shade just moves over, puts one boot over his head, as the man is paralyzed on the ground, and just gets prepared to just stomp his head straight into the ground, forcing the rest of his chest to go through the axe, and he does. He puts his boot straight down on the man's head, crushing his head. You hear the skull cracking as you get revved to consciousness by Lyra as the man is split in twain.
Yo. Please. Please tell me you got something, because I don't know if I can go much longer. I have no idea what it took for me to get to this nation.
They both look at each other, then look back at you and say, "Lad, we're all out of gear. We kind of spent it all. This was not as short of an invasion as what you've seen.
I'm going to...
We've been here a lot longer than you have. You weren't exactly early to this party." And Lyra just kind of nods in affirmation. "It was kind of a while. We've been fighting here for several hours. We're exhausted, Galen. There's really not much more we can do. There's only so many Dragars they can throw at us before we'll start to falter."
Do they have any, like, can I do, like, a check? Hold on, first things first, I'm gonna stand here and do a perception check
Okay.
for if there's any more. 'Cause I swear to God, if there's any more, we're so done for. That's
All right.
plus that, I want 8. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay, looking forward, you don't see anybody down the hall. You do see like trace amounts of blood spilt on the floor as you look ahead.
Or here.
Just like just like all over this room, really.
I'm going to search this guard captain's body for any healing
Okay.
potions.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Please, God. Please. Yes!
Oh my
Give me
god,
some-
yeah, you
give
find
me
a
some-
potion of greater healing.
Give me that shit. I'm gonna go to the next card. First, I'm gonna chug it.
Yeah, 44 plus
46.
4.
Alright. Well,
8.
alright, I'm gonna search this next card.
Out of 20s.
Do I find
11.
anything?
No. There's no potion in this guy's satchel. You do find some like water and stuff, but the Shade and Lyra both approach you and kind of grab you by the shoulder and yank you back, and they say, "Listen, I have a strong feeling that there's still more of them in there. I wouldn't go walking in
think?
willy-nilly. Be very careful where you walk. We're gonna have to play this very carefully. If there's any more, any significant about..." And just before he could finish his sentence, they hear a loud explosion go off behind you, over in this direction.
Isn't that where the King's Chamber is?
No, that is all the way through here, and then you go upstairs, and then it's downstairs, right here.
Dude, I have no idea how we're gonna get this done properly.
But you all hear a loud explosion cut off the Shade, and then through there you could say, "Hey boss, we found something you want to see over here." And as Shade pushes both you and Lyra against the wall, hugging against it, praying that they don't notice that you're there, you see a Dragar captain walk out from the shadows, turning a corner and heading in, and saying, "This better be good, I'm leaving the prince over there. You better have something worth my time." And they begin heading downstairs. You hear loud footsteps as creaking noises begin to happen. Okay. The Shade
Dirty
leans over,
fucker.
and Lyra leans over, and they both go, "There ain't no staircase over there. I have no idea where they're heading."
They probably busted through some wall from, if I had to guess right now.
"Sure, but I'm thinking about the schematics of the building. I gotta say, I don't know anywhere that'd connect to. That's just Nexaro's old storage closet over there. What the hell could they have interest in there?"
Shit. Well. I do know when last time my folks were here, we kind of stole everything.
Ah, no kidding. We were all desperately kind of search and find all of Nexaro's tidbits and gadgets and knickknacks. We really don't want to have to deal with any of those cursed croppings popping up everywhere. One of the guards take it home to their wife and kids, and suddenly we have a whole catastrophic event on our hands. With Nexara gone, we'd like to keep any trace of her away. I got to say, especially with that building way back, and they gesture over, but we will honor our deal. We'll tell you what's exactly in there, but
Can I get everyone to do a perception check of this area?
yeah. You cut them off as they're like beginning to start babbling almost nervously. Lyra's beginning to babble almost nervously. As you just wave over and to kind of gesture to go check it out. Neither of them see anything, but they are both bleeding rather profusely and have lost quite a bit of blood in the past hours. So you see the most, and all you see up ahead is a single. I don't know if you can see. Can you see any models there?
Yeah, Dragar combatant and Aelion.
Okay, you can't see both of them. Okay. You see one Dragar combatant standing guard over an Aelion that looks beaten, bruised, and bloodied. He's lying on the floor, but he is not unconscious. He is gagged and he is bound.
Yo, Shade, I see Aelion with a Dragar combatant. He does not look good, but he's alive. Do not rush in there. Ugh. Keep in mind, there's a captain on our left. I'm hoping you're more stealthier than I am. considering we have similar professions. Do I have a shot on the Drager combatant with an Eldritch? Is Eldritch Blast loud?
I don't know. Is Eldritch
Because mine's like
Blast
windy
loud?
and like windy magical.
It's as loud as a sword hitting a metal shield with a full swing. Decently
That's
loud, but
loud.
not
That sounds
ear-shattering.
fucking- That's like a frying pan. Ding ding.
Alright. So, Shade turns to you and asks,
Do I
"How
have
you
return
wanna
on my-
play
I don't-
this?" No,
I don't have
because
return on my
Franklin
dagger,
turned
yeah.
that off, actually, yeah.
Dude, that's actually so. Well, when did he turn it off exactly? Was it before or after this chronologically?
Let's see. I suppose it depends. So, hold on, comparing. So, they went... So you ran off, they went to Gangly Man. That was pretty soon after that they found the Gangly Man. Maybe like 1 hour. It's probably the same amount of length that you were traveling until you found the airship. Your airship, I think we said, you had long rested in.
That was a long
It was,
flight.
yeah, it was over a long rest worth of time.
was like 6
They
hours.
long rested once when they got to Stovenhold. So that's 8 hours. So when you arrived, they should have been heading out for the Scourge. Which means Franklin would have already had the homunculus. Which means you would have lost returning weapon at some
You don't
point
know that, so
during
you're gonna
that
throw
last
it. And it's
battle.
gonna...
I don't think I have enough confidence in Franklin. So, or Chung, more specifically.
So the Shade turns to you and says, "Lad, how do you want to play this? We can go
Can you
all
ta-
in, throw everything we have, and pray it kills. Or I suppose we could play a bit more carefully, walk up, hug corners, stealth through.
Do you
Up to you.
teleport or do you just go invisible?
I have a proper form of teleportation.
Do you teleport at least one person with you?
I'm afraid not. It's just myself.
Damn. We're gonna meet here. And then we're gonna jump this guy, sneak attack him at the same time. Lyra, I literally have no plans for you. You're a shield. I'm sorry, but we need to make this surgical.
She puts her hands up and slowly back and says, "I understand. I'll leave it to the two dashing rogues." As she hugs the corner and turns.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a stealth check and sneak my way up there.
Yeah, and Aelion will do the same.
Alien?
Or Shade will
Shade?
do the same.
I was gonna say Alien's like dying.
Okay, so that's a...
Oh shit.
Okay.
That's 10. Do I
That's
make
a
it?
10. So as the Shade effortlessly dashes up forward, hugging a corner and sneaking up against, pressing himself up.
Well, these guys
against
are
the wall.
distracted with something, right? Unless there's someone over here.
You don't have, as you rush forward, you almost slip.
Oh, I
You
forgot to roll with advantage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that.
Oh, they gotta remember. That's doable.
13. Yeah. You also dash forward in in pursuit of the Shade, meeting him at the designated spot where you both agreed upon.
I want to really quickly do a perception check to see. What there is next to Aeon. If we jump him, will we get jumped? That's good enough.
You look
Or is it
ar-
just him, one guard?
You look around, and there's literally one guard. That chief was probably the only guy meant to be standing guard, and he just passes it off onto this other guy. And as you're getting a good look at this combatant, he's actually like really scrawny and kind of weak-looking. Like he's almost
Alright.
malnourished, even. Shady also gets a pretty good look at him and nods back to you. We can
You
take him
first,
easy.
go behind,
And with that,
then I go after.
with that, he nods and then teleports.
All right. I'm gonna make my roll early.
Vanishing into, again, a plume of smoke, he disappears behind the combatant and plunges in a dagger straight into the back of his throat. And as he does that, the Traeger drops his weapon, grabbing the back of his neck and falling to his knees forward. as you...
He falls into my dagger.
Yeah, I guess he would. You rolled a 16. So you dash forward, catching him as he's falling forward, and having the palm of your hand press against the base of your dagger, you push it and shove it straight through his chin. And this malnourished-looking dwarven combatant stops moving, his chin resting on your dagger as he dies.
Alright.
Okay. And then with that,
and
Alien kind of like tries to get your attention, kind of like wiggling around on the floor as the shade cuts him loose and takes the
Wake
gag out
up,
of his
knife
mouth.
ears.
Knife ears? Eh, I might... what
Shut
was
up.
his voice? I don't even remember.
He was like kind of like fancy.
Normal.
Normal?
Kind of schemy
Galen,
fancy.
good to see you. Well, how's my favorite knife ears doing? Now,
Pretty good.
he gets up, standing up, and says, "Right, who wants to explain why there's dwarves in my castle?"
I literally could not tell you why. They just had plans.
They had plans. How'd they get in? We should have better security than this.
I don't know. Probably because there was a psycho bitch with you.
Psycho.
Keep in mind, Nixar. I'm gonna try and make up something just to cover for Mara, because if they figure out that we were kind of responsible, they're gonna get kind of screwed. So, I'm gonna say like Nixar specialized in. Nixar has a shitload of cursed tools or whatever items, and these guys are part of a group called the Eclipse, and they specialize in cursed trade.
And then he nods, as it's stroking his non-existent beard, his very clean-shaven and like baby face. And he's nodding, stroking it, and being like, "Well, I suppose that does make quite a lot of sense. I gotta say,
Why do you think I
though,
rushed over here? I kind of got involved with these guys and figured out they had plans with you.
Well, we're grateful to have you along. I'd really rather not you have come back, but I guess given the circumstances, I can't really complain too much. Anyway," and then he freezes for a second, blinking, saying, "So what now? There's no more Dragar."
There's like 3 of them on the hallway around on the rightish over there. Also, did you see any magically big looking guys? Kind of like they're dwarves. They look magical. Just any sense. They kind of look like they're a boss.
Aelion blinks and says, What do you mean? What corridor?" And as you're turning around thinking about it, you don't actually remember seeing any Dragar heading down any corridor.
Over
You do
there?
remember that there was a corridor, but you can't seem to quite recall. That, as far as you remember, that was it for the Dragar. You just killed the last one standing. And the Shade clasps you on the shoulder and says, "Are you feeling all right, lad? This is the last one. We got them all."
I'm gonna run over and perception check this. Am I tweaking?
And as you look, you run over. You're insistent that you remember Dragar's disappeared down the hallway, and you go in, and you
Actually, can I
do
do-
see a staircase, a big, long, old-looking staircase, blown open with an explosion by the looks of it. Somebody forcing their way through a secret passage.
Was
But
it
you're
always
looking.
a really old, dusty staircase that leads down?
They both come over, and Lyra follows along and says, What's going on? Old dusty staircase? There's nothing of the sort." And then they all get a good look, and they all frown. For as long as they've lived here, they've
They're
never
dead
known
here.
a staircase. No, they're not dead. They're just... Let me get rid of them. For as long as they've lived here, they've never known a staircase to be here. Lyra does know this to be Nixara's storage closet. They've never really questioned what goes on there. Sometimes Nixara would just disappear for days at a time inside her closet. They weren't really one to question. Nixara was pretty weird after all. But Lyra, hearing about the Dragars, has to insist. She also didn't see any Dragar heading down a staircase over here. As weird as this mystery staircase is, there's no reason to believe that there's any more Dragar down there.
Do I see the staircase? It's like
You
it's
see
there,
the staircase.
right?
It's very clearly a big staircase. You just don't
I'm gonna
remember
stealth
any
down
Dragars.
there.
All right.
If Shade wants to come with me or stick with Aelion, I'm probably gonna stick with Aelion. Do whatever. I'm gonna go do this.
Roll a persuasion check. Depending on what you get, I'll let you pick who you want to go with you.
Probably Shade.
Well, you guess you're going
Well,
down.
Well, what was it? Plus 30 times 2. That's like.
Plus 3 times. So wait, you have do you have
I'm
proficiency in
I'm
persuasion?
yeah. Remember, I could like persuade anyone. That's my proficiency.
Persuasion. That's plus 3 times 2, so that's 6. That's plus 9. So you rolled a 12. Okay, pick 2 of them.
Ooh. Shade, how you doing on health? Mr. Whatever. I don't even know your name.
You know the
Oh,
Shade?
Silveris.
Yeah, I've had this name up the whole time.
I've never. You just
He
call him
reaches out
Shade.
his hand and says, "You could have just asked for my name. I'm not that secretive. We've met already. So, my name's Silveris." As he holds out his hand.
How are you doing when it comes down to your
He looks
constitution?
at you. He looks at you and says, "Well, clearly not as worse for wear as you are, but I could be quite a lot better." And Lyra has to nod in affirmation. "I'm rather the same. I also am probably doing better than you are right now."
Give me a break. I've been through worse, and that's like not even a joke.
Well, that's not exactly promising to hear, but all right, we'll head down with you.
I'm gonna only take. I only take one of them, right?
You can take 2.
I'm probably gonna say, Aelion, you're probably gonna die if I leave you here alone. So, I'm gonna leave your big sister with you, or younger sister. I don't know who's which.
Lyra is younger.
She looks older. Anyways.
Yeah, she's younger. By like 100,
yeah.
200 years or something.
Sis here is way cooler than you. I'm gonna just take Silveris here with me down there. All right.
Shade seems to be pretty content with this, given that now that he's just gotten Aelion back, he's not too keen on leaving him alone, much less with your supposed accusations that there's still Dragars running around, which he's still going to be cautious.
I know what I saw.
But the funny thing is, as you're saying this, insisting
You
that you
heard
did
that
know,
explosion.
you
Who else
also
could've-
don't know for sure. You're starting to doubt yourself too on this one. You
I'm
are
going
100%.
crazy.
Later,
Schizo check.
Lyra tells you, I wish there was something I could give you, but are you sure you're feeling all right? You're still up to going down there? We really don't know what's down there. We don't recognize this. This is a Nixara exclusive thing. It's not privy to us.
I don't know. Give me like a cool dog that can fight, and then maybe I'm just gonna go down there.
What an odd choice of last words you hear her say as you both, or all 3 of you, begin to head down.
All 3? Aelion's coming with.
I thought you said that. Oh, you're leaving Aelion behind?
Aelion with
Okay,
Lyra.
okay.
I'm taking Silveris
right.
with me.
Got it. Okay. So as you start heading down the staircase, okay. So, why is it not letting me grab them? Alright. So you begin heading down that staircase. As you're heading down, it is like really dark, and it is really windy, and it is jam-packed with crumpled notes covered with scribble. Wait, hold on, let me get
Can't see.
So as you head down the staircase, a long and winding staircase in a big cylindrical motion as it goes down deeper and deeper, you just keep going forever and ever. At least it feels that way. You're not really sure how long this is taking. It's been a couple minutes. You're still not seeing any light. You're not hearing any noise. The occasional drip drop of rain or something leaking from the sides of the walls. There's water just flowing down, coming from somewhere. You keep going deeper and deeper down, and the further you go, the more unsettling it becomes. You begin hearing whispers and voices, like an old, faint, old-timey tune.
My blindfold
begins
still?
playing. Yeah, there's not an actual map for the staircase down. It's just a straight way. But there's crumpled notes that you're finding, paving some of the staircases, just scribbled with utter nonsense, just scratchings and markings on the walls. As you go down further and further, the walls begin to look older and older, and the more unsettling it gets. These walls and the stairs and the stone look much older than anything you've seen in this kingdom. nobody in the group recognize. You and Shade both still don't recognize this. I mean, even the stone looks off. Shade doesn't
The
think
chief were
he's-
here.
The Shade turns to you and says, "I'm pretty sure nobody's been down here in quite a long time. There's dust everywhere. There's crumpled notes. Are
You
you
said this
sure?
is an Exara spot?
You sure Dragars came down here? Yes, it's gotta be. One of us would know about it. We've all grown up here. We've been here hundreds of years." And as you keep going down further and further, Galen begins hearing a whisper in his ear, just whispering, "Come deeper. Come on, Galen. Come deeper."
Okay.
You
I'm
turn
gonna
to look-
tell. I'm literally gonna tell Silveris like what I just heard. Like dog.
You just heard whispering, and he turns
Did you
to
hear
you.
that?
And
I swear I
Hear
could
what?
not have been the only.
there's no.
I'm going crazy.
Are you sure you're feeling it? Maybe we should pull back for now. Something's up with you. Are you sure? You said you were messing with the eclipse before this. Are you sure you haven't been cursed?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so, or you know so? Is there a time where you could have been inflicted with anything?
No, not that I can think of.
He sighs and says, "All right, if you think you're still up to this." As you continue walking down, after what's probably at least an hour of just walking straight down, still having heard nothing of the Dragar that you supposedly think came down here, you begin exiting into a surprisingly well-lit room, lit with like cyan torches. It's a rather mystical looking area you walk into, but that's not the really big area of concern. Looking around the room, you begin seeing just loads of weapons and shields, swords, blood on the floor, and lit torches. Not the cyan ones lining the walls.
Can I Arcana check those torches?
Yeah.
See what kind of magic it is, since my character is a little magical.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, you recognize that back from the Sunless Citadel. These are everlasting torches. They're just always burning, perpetually.
Oh shit.
The ones on the ground, though, are just completely ordinary torches.
They're still lit?
The ones lying on the ground are just regular torches, still lit, yeah. But the ones hanging on the walls are everlasting torches.
Hold on, that means someone was here. What if they're regular lit torches underground?
The Shade kneels down and puts his fingers in the blood, and this blood's still warm. Somebody was down here recently, you're right. But I don't really remember. And then he's cut off as, from the hallways, a babbling Dragar begins stumbling around, coated in, like, small scratches and markings. You can see, like, numbers carved into his skin, runes carved in, probably with a knife that he's still wielding, dancing around.
I'm going to pull back here and hide, and kind of like perception. I'm gonna like, pull like the, yeah.
Okay. So you dodge back as he just...
I'm gonna be kind of like peeking though, like self
Yeah.
perception while like watching this go down.
Yeah, roll a stealth check.
Okay, cool.
As this hysterical Dragar begins babbling.
Alright, cool.
And you do pull away successfully. As he's just stumbling
I'm
around
just
in this
standing
room.
here. It's
Yeah.
realistic. Yeah, go on. These are runes carved into him, like on his flesh.
Like he is carving actively with a knife into himself. You don't know what he's writing. There's something. But he's just
Can I
carving away and away and
Wanna
away
check
and
those
away.
runes?
Sure.
Probably a high check. Let's see what I get. 13. No, I don't understand anything, I'm guessing.
You don't understand the runes, if they're magical or not. But you can see that all over his body are numbers just counting up and up and up. He doesn't seem to be carving any of those numbers in himself right now, just the runes, but there are still numbers counting up and up and up.
Oh, I see. The song's not out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching, see what happens.
You keep watching as he dances around the room, digging And then occasionally he stumbles his way, looking into just some expanse of dark. And as he does, he freezes, goes rigid, backs away, panting loudly, and backs slower and slower away. Desperately, he begins carving into himself again, another number going up. And then as he backs away, he trips, falling, facing the sky, and then suddenly he gets up, completely back to his normal hysterics, whirling around the room, swaying back and forth, carving back again, runes, not numbers, into his skin. The longer you wait, the more you see this process repeating itself. The numbers just keep going up and up and up. I mean, at this point, he's on 50 or 60. You can't see all these numbers, but, I mean...
Can we wait till he gets to 100, or...?
The Shade kind of reaches out and grabs your shoulder. Lad, probably at this point. I don't think he's quite sound. I think if we're gonna make a move, it should be sooner rather than later. I'm not liking the feeling of this place. Do you really want to stick around and see what happens when he gets to 100? If you're right, and there's more Dragar down here. How many did you say went?
3, 4, at least.
3, 4.
At least 2 of them. One of them was captain. 2 of them were at least regulars, and then the third one, I don't know. I wasn't keeping too much track.
Whose blood's on the floor?
Can I tell blood apart?
No.
Do Dragars have? Okay.
I don't think so. If you said there's 3 or 4 Dragar down here, and there's no bodies, but there's the blood, there was clearly a fight. I mean, you don't drop lit torches.
Can I peek up ahead further, do another perception check?
Yeah.
Or is it too dark? You said it was well lit.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me what I need to see. Someone was carving actively.
Okay. So, getting a peek. Where's the revealer?
Right here.
Oh. Getting a peek into the staircase down, as best you can without revealing yourself. You just see 2 splitting paths. There's nothing down that hallway that you can see from where you are now. You'd need to get closer.
Alright, this is gonna be kind of like a bullshit check, but I'm gonna try and fashion my rope into a lasso. Do I have to make a survival check for this?
Sure. No, it's a lasso. No.
Into a lasso, like my rope.
I mean, if you want it to be a lasso, roll it. But I mean, it's.
I'm gonna cut 10 feet of rope.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 to fail, man. You're stuff like this. I mean, you're probably not gonna fail it. Oh my god.
What?
I said 2 to fail. You rolled a 2. Are you kidding?
Do I have any bonuses
to survival? I don't know. Let me check.
I have +1.
Okay. Somehow you tie them a shitty looking knot. The Shade gives you a shake of disapproval, and just with.
You can make me a better one later. And I'm going to try and lasso this dwarf. Actually, I'm gonna sneak it. We're gonna sneak attack this guy. Get ready. I'm going to lasso him over.
Okay, and you throw over the lasso. Roll to hit.
Damn.
You throw the lasso, and it falls just behind him. He doesn't seem to have noticed it as he keeps swirling around the room.
I'll wait again.
You pull it back.
And Nick, watch. This time look at him for sure. Can I steady aim this?
Sure, man.
I'm trying.
17. Right. If you roll a 2, I swear to God, it was going to whip him in the back of the head. He'd jolt around and see you. All right, you do toss the lasso, and it tightens around his neck as you begin pulling him in.
Strength check?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
As he's resisting you, since you're the grappler, it's just your strength. You can use acrobatics or, what's it called?
8, and I have a +1 in strength. Yeah.
And he has a +2. That's a 10, so he wins. So
help me! He's pulling me in.
So Shade rushes over to assist you, but before he does, you get pulled a couple feet forward towards this hysteric Dragar as he starts babbling again, this time louder and louder. Then he shoves out his finger.
What's he saying?
It's just complete nonsense. Just going genuinely
I'm gonna sneak attack him as fast as possible.
Spitting out dribble and saliva everywhere. But he points at you and says, You've been here before! You're back! You're back! You're back! And as you're pulling him in, you reach in to stab him. Shut him up as soon as you can, because you don't like what he's saying. It's triggering something deeply unsettling within you. And as
Can I just pause, like I mess up my sneak attack or something?
Sure, you can freeze your sneak attack. Moments before you plunge it into him, you stop, holding it, your hand slightly shaking. Because something about these words isn't sitting quite right with you. What does he mean, you've been here before?
You know me?
He just returns back to dribbling and drooling, his eyes like wide open, bloodshot red.
Now that I'm out here, can I perception check there? The void area.
Okay, so roll perception.
This is fucking terrifying, bro. Oh damn, don't really see much.
Okay. Suddenly, you're getting up off the floor, like wiping your eyes as if there was something in them. The shade looks down at you and grabs you by the shoulder. Are you all right, kid? You just fell over. You just looked over in that direction and just collapsed on the spot.
The Draegar's gone?
You screamed. No, the Draegar is still also watching, eyes fixated on you, not moving, lasso still around his neck, just watching intently. Are you sure you're okay, kid? You're collapsing, you're having memories. Are you positive you're not cursed? If there's anything you need to tell me now.
I swear I really don't think I'm cursed. I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. Brother, I don't know. Sir. I'm shitting my pants.
Alright.
Can you, you're pretty magical. You check me, please. Does he do a check on me?
He says, give me a second first. And then he moves over to take a perception check over. Okay. He says, give me a second, I'm gonna go check. And then as he walks over, before he can give it a good look, the hysterical Draegar runs over to stab him in the back.
Can I react and try and stop this?
Sure, roll dex check against him. He's +0. You have +3, that's a tie.
Tie. Roll again.
Roll again, yeah, I don't actually know what wins a contest. I actually don't know. 17. Well,
dude, he's owning me!
This hysterical Draegar runs in, and with the numbers carved in, he reaches over, and it slices for 1 damage. He barely pricks the shade in the back.
Sneak attacking him,
He carves in the number 1 into his back. And as the shade whips back around, the Draegar begins fixating back on whatever in the dark. You try and get a sneak attack, but it's pointless because he's already, slowly backing away again.
He just carved 1 into your back, dog.
He reaches over and looks back. 1? 1 what?
He literally carved, the number.
The number 1,
rune
he keeps
number.
trying to turn around, trying to see his back, but with the perception of 1, he just can't quite get it. He's like a dog you're watching spin around in circles, trying to be fast enough to get a quick glimpse. And with that, the Draegar turns around, hiding his head, sobbing, and then he whips around again, completely fine, and points back at you, Galen, and goes, You're here again! You were just here! I keep seeing you! And then he scrawls into himself another number.
He's counting something. I'm gonna check on Silveris. Are you okay, though?
I'm mostly fine. He only got a little small nick on me. It's really nothing to be concerned about.
Can I Arcana check him?
Sure.
I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Damn.
You aren't really magically experienced at this point. You've only just barely gotten access to any bit of magical prowess, so you're not really capable of telling things like...
It's gonna sound crazy, but I think you should probably go. This place seems like it's more connected to me than it is you. And I don't want to get you pulled into this.
He nods and says, it's probably wise, but what do we do about him? And he gestures over to the dwarf.
Just leave him. He's got more beef with you than he does me.
as you guys are talking about leaving, the faint song that had been playing in the background suddenly stops, leaving you all wondering, why exactly are you here? With no sense of like uneasiness or concern or really any confusion, Shade just grabs you by the shoulder and says, all right, well, we best get going. And you leave. And as you turn, he like grabs you in tow, bringing you out of this very well-lit dungeon. The lights begin turning off behind you, leaving the Dragar in the dark.
Oh, damn. I don't get a choice.
Yep. Okay. So, let me also delete the Fog of Wars now, since we're not going back down there for a bit.
Scary ass place.
Finally, I get to the thing that I've been waiting to get to.
Does he remember any of this after this?
Let me see yes, you do remember going down here.
Is he, though? Silveris.
Yes, Silveris also remembers going down here.
Okay. Why'd he take me with him?
You were just saying.
Oh,
you're leaving.
I said I was gonna stay. He can go.
Oh, you were gonna say.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
I'm gonna go back there. It's fine.
I mean, so he begins walking upstairs without you. And so, where did I put your models?
I think you left it behind.
Did I really?
I think so. Here, I'll look away.
No, wait, I have you over here. Never mind.
Oh. Well.
Okay.
Or tiny.
Yeah, it's because I have automatic size adjustments and this map is really small. Okay, so as you return back up the stairs with him like almost pushing you out of there, he returns you back to Aelion and Lyra, and he says, well, there was... And then he frowns and says, what? There was... Oh, it was just some old ruins. It was probably a Nixar cult thing. It's not really that important. There was a Dragar, but he's of no concern. He's probably going to kill himself by the end of it anyway. Bleeding profusely, cuts and scrapes all over him. He's digging into himself. He'll be dead long before he ever makes it out. I'd say we just seal up that wall and leave it. And Aelion kind of tilts his head over into the dark. Well, if you say that, we should seal it up. So I'm honestly not one to disagree, but honestly, it's a bit of a concern. This is my castle now. I feel almost privy to know exactly what's down there. And Lyra kind of gets in the way and says, Now, Aelion, let's not be rash. We're not going to head down there ourselves. We're already gone through plenty for today. Let's keep it at that. This can be a future endeavor. We'll get plenty of guards, and we're clearly going to need new ones. So she turns away to look at the blood-pooled guards that you had looted earlier. We'll give them a proper burial. I really do gotta wonder what happened to the rest of our guards, though. Where did they go? Exactly. Does anyone quite remember? Shade? Aelion? And all of them just kind of... Did we have guards? Oh, I think I heard something about them leaving? I don't remember the details.
This country's so schizo, man. I'll go crazy if I'm here any longer. I'm gonna ask Lyra where the king is, or dad, technically.
Our father. She slaps herself upside the head. Oh, we forgot to go over check on him. Aelion, do you know? And Aelion kind of like calms her down. No, I made sure. I did hear someone breaking in. I've already made efforts. Elara has a secret compartment behind her wall. I sincerely doubt they'll know to check behind there. I wheeled him over there. And then he turns to you and said, oh, by the way, our father that you crippled? Well, one, thanks for doing so. I won that election. Famously. Could you believe it? Not a single vote of opposition. Nobody thought to oppose me. The many perks of, being royalty. Anyway, he's wheeled in over there. We're kind of keeping him out of public view. Nobody wants a king who's rather weak-looking. He's quite frail. he's not quite himself. I mean, you've seen him. You've fought him, even. There's no real better judgment of a man's personality and state of being, if not battle. But, no, he's fine. He's... We'll leave him.
No, I want to talk to him.
Yeah. What makes you think he wants to talk to you? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you did.
He doesn't get a
cripple the
choice
man.
here.
All right, I won't be one to stop you. As he puts up his arms and
I'm gonna ask Lyra to come with me, by the way.
she follows. And she nods and says, "Whatever you need, Galen."
As we're gonna be walking, I'm going to definitely just fill her in on like what happened to Silveris, because that is terrifying. I'm getting like, this sounds like zombie movie, like infections start. Like they think they didn't get bit or something. They're like, oh, it's just a scratch, and then it spreads the infection or some shit. So.
Do I have a model of the king? I think I don't have his depowered version, so it doesn't.
Oh, he's right
really
here.
matter. Oh, he is here. Oh, he is there. Never mind. I do have his depowered version. That's where his depowered version is. All right. Okay.
So he's like in this ditch.
Ditch. So
Right.
I don't know if you guys if you remember, but
Yeah, the fireplace secret.
yeah, that's where he is. It's just past the secret fireplace. So as they walk in, you
Also,
feel.
I'm gonna, yeah, Lyra, that there's a one carved onto Silveris' back, and that they have to be like. I'm gonna just be like straight up like, because I'm terrified of what's down there. I'm gonna be like, have a failsafe ready against him to kill him.
To kill Silveris.
Yeah. He got carved with a rune number on his back. I'll fill him in on the dwarf as well, because I don't want to explain all that. But there was a dwarf running around, carving numbers up his arm.
Oh, it was a Dragar, to be clear. It was one of the
Dragar
combatants. Yeah. I keep calling it a dwarf because technically Dragars are dwarves, but it is specifically a Dragar combatant that was from the invasion. Okay. And Lyra, she kind of like sighs and rubs the back of her neck. Just, that's a lot to take in. Killing Silveris, that's quite the feat. I mean, this is really all just conjecture, isn't it? You have.
Better get prepared for it one day. Anyways, well, that's a thought for later. You better keep an eye on them. At the very least, I'm going to question this old cunt about what is that place down there.
Lyra puts out the flame, swiping her hand down, and says, I hope that Lara doesn't mind. Not that she really stuck around to explain herself. Anyway, you have your talk. And then she takes a step back and waits outside the room. While you approach into this like very dark and cramped room, you approach this now hair-graying old man sitting in his wheelchair, head hung. He's rather skinny and doesn't seem to be rather like attentive, all quite there as you walk in.
How long have you been king for?
Hold on. Firing, clacking sound effect. Background noise. Relaxing fireplace sounds. Let me pull up my timeline. Okay. You walk in, asking him, how long have you been king for? He looks up slowly and says, 440 years would be this year.
And were you around for the time this castle was built?
No. I was here when we sealed ourselves off. But... And he takes a moment frowning and rubbing his head. No, this castle was here long before we... Perhaps my father, or the father before him. I can't recall. The years are long, and it's been many.
I see. How did you meet Ixara?
Nixara? He looks up slowly. Let me think. Nixara. Who's Nixara?
Come on, dude.
He kind of scratches the back of his head. Can I have
Gotta
a
make
hint?
slap him.
You slap him upside the head.
Roll. Let's see how well this will jog his memory.
You can.
Oh shit.
You slap him upside the head. He gives you like a smite smile, and he says, "I met her about 4 years ago."
Yeah. Thanks for the clarification.
She came in. She found us. How much do you know about our people?
Not much, other than they're a close society of elves that recently opened up for after hundreds of years. That's about it.
That's rather close. So, say about 180 or so years ago, there were many factions of elves. It wasn't always just us wind elves. But there were a race, you see, the Gith. They just kind of appeared out of the blue one day. Almost immediately, they waged war. They cropped up around the outskirts of, well, where the Dwarvens, all their races kind of take up residence. They just cropped up, instantly began lashing out at all the elves. Well, we wind elves, we weren't exactly too keen to stick around and take a fight with whatever the hell the Gith are. I mean, their weaponry, their tech, it's all unlike anything we've ever seen. They just pop up, show up, and start a rampage of murder. They had a king, his name was... I think it was La Roche, something along the lines of that. But he just led his forces and slaughtered so many elves. We pulled back about 180 years ago, 100 or so years ago. We pulled away. We left our other elven kind away, pulled away. We just left. We isolated ourselves in response to his murder, his genocide campaign. We led the other. We left the other elven races. They fended for themselves. They faded out. You don't hear about any other race of elves anymore, do you? You've been on the outside world a bit more recently than we have. You've met any elves on your journeys? Are there any still around?
No, I got bullied for my years.
That's one of the many...
People know elves exist, but no one's really seen them.
When you live as long as I have, you'll make a lot of choices, and not all of them will be the greatest. I have many regrets, and one of them is my response to that. I left fellow elves out to rot. They were probably all slaughtered. Nixara, though, she came in just about 4 years ago. She pulled back her hood. She's an elf, you know. Not quite sure from where, but she's an elf.
What? How? Wait. What kind of elf do you like?
He weakly throws up his hands. She didn't really elaborate much on where she came, but, well, an elf's an elf. I'll kind of be glad to see them when they come. She's not a wind elf, I can tell you that. I would know if she was, and she's not. She's something else, one of the more uncommon subspecies we have. But she came in, we let her in. Elves are more than welcome. I didn't think there were really any left. We hadn't seen any since we closed up the kingdom. But here she was. We let her in. She gained some notoriety in the ranks. She seemed rather popular and well-received advisor. Everybody liked her rather well. Though, at this point, I must wonder in hindsight how much of it was really our own thinking. But, no, I took her up as my own advisor. She, rather quickly, even. That was probably not all my idea, though. And he strokes his actually existing beard.
That's where he gets it from.
She was very familiar to me. can't quite recall where she was from. But I've seen her face before. I'm positive of that. There's not really many ample opportunities for me to know of someone like that. But I trusted her. I trusted her so much. Why?
Mm.
What have she done since? Have you seen her?
Well, you know how she kept a little cupboard full of cursed magical items.
She had her projects. Yes, there's the infamous songstress. You're not going to hear many talks of that one. Quite the failure.
Why is there a stair that leads down to bedrock?
He looks up.
Filled with ever-bright torches that never go out, with a mad person down there carving people up.
He looks up at you, frowning, and says, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. She had a storage closet. There was no staircase or ruins. I know the inside and outside of this kingdom. I've been here longer than anyone else alive. There's nothing there like you're describing.
Well, also, Silveris, what do you know about him?
The Shade? He's just an old friend of Aelion. Aelion used to sneak out of the kingdom at nights. He'd talk with the common folk. He was a big people pleaser. Always playing king and the such. The townsfolk liked him well enough. He took up a particular friend. That's Silveris. They grew rather attached. I trained him myself. Took him up as a pupil,
Silveris?
almost. Silveris, yes. Just common born. But Aelion liked him, so we took him in. Trained him to be his personal, I suppose assistant might not be the right word. Bodyguard? Assassin? He carried out the tasks for Aelion. He's rather lazy, you gotta understand. Every royalty needs their servants. We can't refuse him any, and Silveris seemed quite happy to serve. So we kind of just threw up our hands and said, if Aelion's going to be sneaking out anyway, may as well just get this whole thing down on lock and just give him a real, title to go along. Think of him more as like the royal general of sorts.
Also, one final question. Who is the queen, and why does literally no one know him? Or her, whatever, I don't know what you do.
The queen? He frowns and looks up at you and begins to cry. I'm sorry, I don't know of who the queen is.
Okay. Will I ever get a beard like yours?
He looks up at you, tears filling his eyes. He plants one hand firmly on your shoulder.
Fuck.
You better pray. Aelion can't. He's so distraught. Please don't bring it up to him. My genes, they weren't dominant enough. He'll never get as lush and long as a beard as what I have. And he strokes his, old and scraggly white beard. Mind you, the last time you had seen him, he clearly was clean-shaven. No beard. Well, no, actually, no, last time you saw him, he would have been insane, so he did have a beard.
Probably a fire-looking beard, I bet.
Yeah,
he was probably clean as hell.
Yeah, he actually was rather well groomed. He would have had a very solid beard at that point, sorry. Pre-insanity. Prior to 4 years, he'd have no beard. 4 years, he does have beard. That's not lore, that's just well, that is lore, but it's not notable lore, that's not tied to anything, that's just...
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, his model doesn't have a beard, so I gotta work that in, but I've always pictured him as having a beard, so,
Nah. I'd imagine this model will be like a younger version of himself. Oh well.
I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really gain much from that. Aside from Nixara's an elf. That was an uncomfortable conversation. You started crying because I mentioned your mum.
And Lyris is my mum?
Never
sorry,
mind.
we don't remember. I don't remember. She frowns and scratches one finger on the top of her head. I don't remember my mother. And then
This place.
soon,
I'm just gonna walk away.
you begin walking away, leaving the weeping old man, his sobs growing louder with every footstep you take.
Also, I'm gonna run back and be like, sorry about your spine. And then, like, pop back out.
The cries
And I got a little
only-
angry.
The cries begin to only grow louder. It's more than a cry, it's a full-blown weep. It's just the most sorrowful old man crying like he fell alone in his own room. His children don't talk to him. He's has nothing to live for. Just a cripple alone in a dark room with a kingdom being led by children who won't come back to speak to him. Rejected by them, even. As you begin walking out.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna
And
ask.
again, Azan is the worst person ever for crippling the game. Who would have guessed?
I guess I do have the highest KD when it comes to making people miserable and like heartfeltly, like mentally broken.
And so as you come back down the stairs, Alien turns and says, "Well, how'd that go?" And then
You need to.
and then
You're
Lyra
a shit
walks
son,
up
not gonna
and Lyra walks up and said, "He made him cry again." And then Alien throws up his hands and goes, "Oh, not again." That
You're a
man,
shit son.
that damned old man won't stop crying. We tried, like, we gave him his own room, we give him food, and he just won't shut the fuck up. I can't figure it out. I'm giving up with this. And he walks off to the corner. Go check on the townsfolk. I'm gonna clean up for a public service announcement. And he walks off to the bathrooms.
I'm gonna. You really then I gotta give respect to Alien. He is talking so much shit and so like snarky, even though he got his shit rocked. I'm gonna. It'd be really funny him just giving a speech all like bruised and beaten up, comedically swollen eye. Anyways, I'm gonna ask Silverus, is there anything cool you can teach me since you wield a great sword? You know. Daggers,
On
just like
such
be for
short
real.
notice? I mean, I don't... You'd have to stay here for at least a bit of time for me to impart any of my actual combat prowess upon you.
Teach me something cool.
Teach you something cool? Like what? I mean, I know all sorts of tricks, but they're not exactly all easy to teach. I wouldn't use them if they were. You gotta have some flair for the theatrics. That's actually the greatest thing I can teach you. Always go for the style. An assassin who's remembered is the best kind.
What the fuck up? Give me some actual like skills.
He slaps you on the back and says, "I'm just fucking with you. You don't want to leave any of them alive. Nobody should remember you. You get in, you get out. You kill them, you shut them up, you silence them. Do something to stop them, keep them quiet, and don't let them ever come back to the surface. You bury them dead."
I see. All right. Well, I'm gonna head off to the town. Can I still get that dog? A puppy, like
There
a
says, "We
good
don't-"
fighting hound. Do we have anything like a pet shop, please?
No, nothing of the kind. I mean, maybe speak to Faerun. Maybe he has a mechanical dog. We're not
not
big pet people
real.
here.
Cat people? You like cats?
Cats, there's probably a stray or two, but she kind of shrugged. We don't
Oh,
really
man.
pay much attention.
Well, damn. I'm just gonna head off to Faerun.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you walk out.
Also, can I get some like alcohol from my friends?
Lyra looks at you up and down and says,
I'm
"How old
joking.
are you again?"
21, as I say.
21. Now, let me
Deception.
think about this.
I'm gonna roll for deception.
Yeah,
Plus
man.
7, plus 6. Yeah, plus
Deception.
7.
Plus 7, so that's a 20. Let me think about this. So, if I recall, you can't be much older. If you're really the bastard child I think you are, you're, what, older than Alara? That's at least older than 16. But you're not that much older than her, are you? Can't be more than, surely not 5 years.
I'm gonna like pull down my chest. See this one single hair of my chest? I'm a grown man, practically.
She looks at you up and down and says, she pulls you in and whispers in your ear, do you actually know how old the elven drinking age is? Our alcohol's quite a bit stronger than your everyday person's.
I need it as a gift for Dwarf. I'll just come clean.
Gift for
Friends.
a dwarf. Well,
He may or may not be alive.
is it the
Oh, no.
the big one, the muscular old man? Rather
Not that
odd
loser.
dwarf.
The one
but-
that tried giving you applesauce.
Oh, him. The grimy guy. Sticky hands. Yeah, he left a
dead.
whole mess all over the castle. He was tracking just liquids. Something was in his pockets. I think he stores like alcohol in his pockets, not like contained or sealed. I think he just pours it in. Somebody should also tell him, I don't think he has pockets. He's leaking. He just left a big mess all over the floor. We had several cleaners. We don't have maids. They all ran off a couple. And then she stops and frowns again and says, where did our maids go?
That's a damn good question. I mean, considering I pretended to be a maid or a house
They stole
maid.
the babe. They stole the bathwater and left. That's what the maids
You know,
did.
now that I'm thinking about it, the upstairs was rather dirty. Those rooms were left untended. They were covered in dust the last time you were here, and they still are. Why don't we have maids? Silveris,
Such dysfunctional kingdom.
where did the maids go, Silveris? And Silveris turns back to her and goes, well, honestly, I've never really questioned it. That's not really my area of expertise. I'm more homeland security, if you will. The maid stuff is... Actually, I don't really know who would be handling that one. Ask your father. That's beneath me.
I wouldn't ask him
Ilari-
right now.
I wouldn't ask him right now. Yeah, he's sobbing. We know. We heard. Anyway.
Right, forgot.
Anyway, I do have to speak with you about that one thing.
What thing?
Honoring our deal. That building on the outskirts of
right.
town. So,
You could have completely just not said that and I would have forgotten.
yeah, but then you would have asked me after it, so I'd rather address it here. You would have remembered
Well, yeah,
that at some
you could have totally just said, "Oh, you forgot
I'm
to
fine
ask."
with you knowing. So, anyway, that building, that's one of Silver. That's one of Nixara's workshops. She had a project in there that was a bit too big for her storage closet. It was...
And you left it untended.
Well, it's more of a, we're not gonna touch that. Inside that building, honestly, we don't want to mess with it. It's, I'm not quite sure. It's probably most similar to, you have an artificer. You know an artificer. He has the little chest that hops around.
He sucks at artificing, though. Go make Fair and do it. He's much better.
It's not quite what he has, but it's almost a person. It's a rather tall woman, specifically. She kind of waltzes around. I don't quite know all the specifics, but it's some sort of battle machine. I really wouldn't want to walk in and accidentally trigger that. Whatever Nixara's made for a full-fledged proper war, well, that's hardly the kind of thing I'd want to tangle with. If we leave it alone, I'd imagine it steers clear of any trouble. We go in, we try and dismantle it or get rid of it, we could accidentally trigger it. Not exactly something I'm keen on doing. So, for now, we're leaving it until it causes a scene or a
You want me to call
problem.
my gang in here and they deal with that?
Well, no offense, but I don't know if I'd really wager you guys are capable of dealing with anything like that. Mind you, you lost to the king. Full power, he still took you guys out. Whatever's in there, Nixara must be pretty confident
Well,
in
you know,
to still
you
be
kind of
working
screwed
on.
us over with the king. I'm positive, kind of, 60% chance we could have won that.
60% chance you could have won, even still.
We
We're
stopped
talking
my
about
goblin's
something
fireball.
Nixara's been working on for her entire duration here. Well, a bit less than that, even. It would have been maybe 3 years ago, I'd say, give or take a couple months. But no, that thing, whatever it is, it's semi-operational, and I really don't want to see what it looks like when it's functional.
So, can I get that spirit?
Spirit?
I'm just gonna jump to that.
What spirit?
Drink,
Oh,
Nimrod.
meet me out back, I'll slip you something.
Cool.
You're not gonna pull a fast one. The age of legal drinking's apparently 100, actually, for elves. I looked it up.
You looked it up
I
in a
looked
book.
it up on my leaf phone. Faerin's quite talented. He has the eye leaf. It's for
Crazy.
We're remarkably well connected for an isolated kingdom.
Well, damn, that was so stupid. It caught me off guard. I don't know what I was gonna say. Well, yeah.
All right. And
I'm
then,
gonna head out to Farin's.
all right. And so you now begin walking out. Oh, that's not the right one. All right. So you begin walking out with,
Silveris.
yeah, Silveris. Okay. Okay, so you walk out, and the city is still, like, in recovery. You see, like, Faerin walking around, tending to the injured, and all things like that, just campaigning the streets, and all things like that.
I'm just gonna go be like, yo, Farin, what's up? Knife here.
And you walk up and catch him by surprise, and he says, what can I help you with, lad?
So, how long do you think it would take for you to fix up my ship?
No more than, like, a day or so. It's not quite too damaged.
I'm gonna run over to Silveris and be like, teach me something right now. Like, we gotta start lessons right now.
Teach you
Within
something
a
right
day.
now. I mean,
Within a day.
1 day isn't quite a lot of time. I don't know how much I can really impart upon you. You can try, but let's see. Roll
Make
a
a check.
d20. Roll a d20. I'll see what I give you. Roll a d20, no modifiers. If you roll like a 20, I'll give you a +1 Constitution.
Oh, I don't learn anything, damn.
Yeah, you're a shitty pupil for the day that you spent with him. You're really unfocused, and they're all still beat up. You never took a long rest. But you do practice with him for a little bit. You spar or whatever. And then you go and take a nap in the castle. And when you come back, soon after, checking in with Faerin, and Faerin kind of gives you like the thumbs up, ready to go. Ship's operational.
One last thing. Can you reinforce this knife by any means? And I just pass on my wolf thing. He recognizes this thing, I'm sure. When I flexed it.
Magic item, D&D. I don't know. Can you read that?
He's like the magic guy. He made phones, dog.
I was kidding. That's not real. That's not canon. There's no guns, much less leaf phones. Well, actually, no. I suppose there would be magical teleprompters, like basically akin to phones. Like, you know, in ReZero, the communicator Cornelius had.
Yeah, I guess I would
There's
have
probably
Yeah, the
things
artifact.
akin to that. That's actually 100% real. So
They're called media games. What they're
yeah,
called.
well, not in D&D. They're not. Apparently, you can
Yeah.
reinforce a magic item in D&D. So yeah, I guess you could. How
Any way
much
possible,
does
I don't
it
care.
cost to give a +1 to a magic item D&D. $500 gold reasonable for a +1.
500 gold.
doesn't
I'm
sound
asking for this for free. I'm asking for free.
Rarity and asking phrase, so it's. I mean, you have the weapon, so it's not like you're buying a +1. It's uncommon. It should be between 100 and 500. I mean, How much should it cost to get a +1 hit damage to a what was the Wolfang dagger even? I don't.
It's 1d6 plus 1d4 lightning.
To a dagger that's any day now, ChatGPT. Reddit didn't give me the answer I was looking for, so it's up to you, ChatGPT. Come on now. Why is it frozen? Hello? ChatGPT? 500 to 1,500? That's rather expensive. Oh wait, that's base pricing factors. Adding +1 to your dagger, it's starting 1,000 to 2 something.
It wasn't even worth that much when I made it. Like, got it commissioned.
No, it wasn't.
It was like, what?
I don't
200...
know. See, I gotta be careful with +1s. So you can get, technically, plus infinite, right? I'd say we probably have to make it scaling, right? So, like, maybe it's like... to get a +1 versus price +2, it's like, for the +1, you need to pay, like, 200... And then for the next +1, you gotta pay 300.
To make it cheaper.
And then the next +1, you gotta get like an extra 400, something like that. I don't know.
I rolled a 12, and then persuasion to make it cheaper, so that'd be +6. 18.
I said 200.
Yeah, I got an 18.
18 over 20 is 90%. So it's 90% times 25, which is 22%.
It was 50,000 gold.
Times that by 200, that's 45. It's 200 minus 45. That'd be 155 gold for a +1.
I'm gonna just... I really shouldn't have given Mara that 50. I'm gonna just give him 100 gold and look at Silveris.
You give puppy dog eyes to Silveris, and he says, fine. And he walks up and pounds over the extra 55 gold or whatever it is you needed.
Yoo-hoo.
Okay, you have a +1 to your hit and damage on that dagger.
Cool.
Okay. Sure. With that, and he slips you like this small little bottle and says, "This is rather concentrated stuff. I'd keep this to yourself. Don't let anybody but that dwarf. If he's half the alcoholic I think he is, he's still gonna have a rather hard time taking this one down." And he slips you this small, like, 2-inch tall bottle. Like, you know those small bottles of, like, Fireball?
Oh,
it's
damn.
like that big.
Is he gonna start spitting out dragon's breath or something?
No, it's not actually Fireball. It's just like
I
that
know,
size
like,
bottle.
It's like super spicy curry from Smash Bros.
Sure, man. It's actually, Spencer, don't you have that still?
Still have a jug of fire breath, yes.
Yeah.
Who knows, we'll make something cool.
Maybe. You
50
Harry,
I'll
cook
drink
it. Harry's going to cook it into curry and actually make it.
Yeah, no, 50-50, I give this to him or pour it over his grave. I don't know.
Well, I gotta hope you see him. No, actually, I hope he's dead. Honestly, he made such a big mess in that castle. There was so much
cook, believe it or not.
fluid. We don't even know what fluid it was. It's just something. Cooking oil, piss, beer, vomit. I don't know. Nobody knows.
All of them.
I'm an assassin and I don't recognize it. As far as I can tell, it's poisonous, but it's not any poison I know. God knows what goes on in that freak. Body's concocting up some venom.
Nice. Well, how many people died, by the way, you think?
In the invasion?
Yeah. I'm going to ask Farron and Silveris that they probably don't know now, but give me an estimate.
It's actually it's rather small. The casualties numbered in couldn't be more than 3 or 4. We're still looking around a couple of the buildings. A couple of them fell in, but we're finding a few survivors that we had almost previously written off as dead. It's honestly things are pretty looking good here. If you got here even a bit later, it might have been a whole different story, but for now, we seem to be mostly fine. God knows we need a break, though.
Well, I'm gonna go. How's my ship looking, by the way?
Your
The one
ship's
that
fully repaired at this point, and Faerun gestures over to it and says, it should be plenty good to go.
livable.
Yeah, it's definitely livable. You can cozy away in that nice little thing. I just be a bit mindful. I don't quite understand all the magic tech that powers that thing, but it's Dragar. It's not Elven, so there's only so much I can do. But just play a bit safe with it. I installed a navigation system. You should be able to return back to anywhere you've previously been. So take you straight where you need to go. No experience needed. But if you're off, you're off. It's ready for you to go. You're welcome back here anytime.
Yeah. Can I have the flicker cloak?
No, fuck off.
It's worth a shot. I'm just gonna jump into my ship.
The amount I've done for you already, you better pray I don't find you sneaking around me Emporium. And then you hop the side of the ship and rev it up as it begins to fly away.
I'm going to, yeah.
As you start...
Let's say I spent the half the day reading the manual.
Yeah.
I got the basics down.
Yeah.
All right, then that's it.
All right. Okay. And then, so we're just going to say you're probably going to end up flying...
Stovenhold.
Yeah.
I
got an idea. Yeah, you're going to start flying in the direction of Stovenhold, because you do know that's where you should have been last. All right. Yeah. Now I got a DM.
Unless I get sidetracked. Oh, man. What's on my ship?
Next session, when I say you see a airship flying overhead, shoot a fireball at it. Trust me, it'll be funny. Alright, I DM'd Brayton. Gribble has a present for your airship. You'll find out.
I should do that, man. I want the tourists to be like, damn, we gotta fix this shit up.
Okay, and then we'll end the session there. It's only an hour and 47. Alright.